Okay, hello everyone. Soulsur17 here like usual. Made the thumbnail, done the pictures, not paid video. Alright, okay. So, here's the thing. When I was making the Ruby Would It before, well, actually, yeah, I was kind of thinking about this one a little bit. I started thinking, secondly, if it's a new world, there should be like two different, like, they can be like probably in New York City, and then probably in New York City and somewhere else. Or just basically, it's just like New Tokyo. Basically. So, that means it kind of makes sense then if we have the Daily Bugle still like in Tokyo. Basically where Izuku lives in Japan. And, well, some other places. In this part, I'm just going to tell you straight up some stuff about who Izuku is, so you guys are going to be like wondering, why did I give him the suit? It's right in the title. It's right in the title. Because, why did I give him Venom or Anti-Venom and a suit, basically, if I'm going to give him these? What will happen if he loses the Venom suit? He will not be able to wall crawl, web swing. Well, he will be able to web swing. But, he will lose the ability to wall crawl and all this other crap. So, I give him this stuff, and he gets a little bit more powerful, yes, but he still will actually won't be needing, the suit, always to have him stick onto walls. Venom could change his DNA, but I also want to give him some other stuff, too. So, please understand that. And I did say he'll be like Spiderman. I mean, it says, became Anti-Venom and slash Spiderman. So, understand that, and thank you. Now then, let us get into this. Also, before that, I am had to give him the Peter Parker, with great power, great responsibility thing. And we will create one of the villains for Spider-Man out of a My Hero Academia character. You'll find out how. But let's get into into this video now. So, this is what Deku became Anti-Venom / Spider-Man Part 2. So, last time we left off is where he gets the letter 3 days in saying he got into, UA High School. But now, we will be focusing on that, after that. He still has about a few more days since it was 7 days to wait. Basically a week. So basically when we got it down in 3, Izuku basically has about 4 days left to do stuff for himself. So he goes, man, I can't believe I got in UA. Shit. Basically his mom's happy for him. She's like, I'm so proud of you, Izuku. You finally can live out your dream. He's like, yeah, I know. Oh my god. I can't believe this actually is happening. So, Venom tells him that she wants to talk to him in private. She's like, okay. He was like, Mom, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go tell Aunt Mitsuki and Uncle. Alright? I'm just gonna be a while in my room. I'm just gonna look for some stuff. They don't even remember me very much, I think, since the last time they saw me, right? Which, she does not. So, because I think I did remember I did have them. Yeah, she knew. So, anyways. So, Izuku goes to his room, locks the door, and he was like, okay, Venom, what does he want to show me? She goes, well, since I have been a part of you, it seems that not all my abilities since I was a god of symbiotes, are technically with me, but since I've been a part of you, a few of my abilities have came back. He's like, and what was one of them? She then, all of a sudden, the symbiote comes off of him and turns into an actual person. Gaining, orange hair and stuff, green eyes. Basically, clothing are being formed. And he's like, what? Do you mean you can have a human form or just, have a symbiote form without a human person? Basically, like a female? She goes, which Venom just says, no. Well, Anti-Venom, I'm just easily saying Venom, but anyways, it's the anti, anyways. So Anti-Venom just says, no, I am a girl. Which Izuku then, like, realized all the stuff, you know, what she has seen, and his face goes red. And, well, she goes, wait, does that mean, she goes, no, I kept your privacy. Besides, you really have no, how can I say this? He goes, no confidence in talking to girls much. She goes, yeah, that. He's like, hey, it's not my fault that girls never wanted to talk to me and they also bullied me too. And she goes, I know, but I took this form out of, well, it's kind of what my previous hosts liked a little. I mean, to be honest, it kind of like a girl named Mary Jane Watson. I don't know why, though. I mean, her name was totally different, but she had the same look as Mary Jane Watson. Which he's like, huh? He goes, oh, Peter Parker's wife / girlfriend. He's like, oh, okay. So, wait, could you, like, legit form clothing? And she goes, yeah. So, wait, okay. So explain to me how this even happened. And she goes, okay, so technically my host quirk was color changing, manipulation. She could basically change her hair color and eye color into anything. And since though I was a part of her, I did copy her quirk. And, well, I could do exactly the same thing. Since I got no hair and eyes, my whole entire body, I made it work to where a point it would be, well, working for me. So, me just going with normal human, well, basically hair color, looks, and clothing, I was able to add a little bit of color to it. He's like, huh, well, that works then. So, wait, does that mean you technically can eat, like, anything and don't have to eat my, organs and such? She goes, yeah. She's like, then why did you? He goes, because, I wasn't ready to tell you yet. He's like, but still, this would have been good to know. Wait, is this, like, one of the things you have while being a symbiote god? She goes, yep. At first, symbiotes had no gender, but since I remade this world... Wait, I never even asked. What is Japan called then? And, well, Japan's called Japan, I know, but... I've been noticing that Tokyo has been, I'm assuming it's in Tokyo. So he goes, I think Tokyo kind of looks like New York City a little bit. He's like, oh, yeah. There was a big, massive villain attack during the Age of Quirks. So a lot of people from New York came and helped build it, and, well, some are basically people from New York that build villains there, kind of added a few things from New York to Tokyo. So, in the end, people just started calling it New Tokyo. Which, she was like, wow. It's like New York, but it's just saying, I call it New Tokyo, but people sometimes will call it New York Tokyo. I don't know why. Yeah, because it just looks somewhat similar to it. He's like, he goes, then she has, and so that's why the Daily Bugle's here, and then I'm with Oscorp. I goes, yeah. Anyways, though, let's, as they say, all of a sudden, Inko knocks on the door. She's like, Izuku, why do I have a female in your room? A girl, basically. And he's like, Mom, it's fine. And, well, that Anti-Venom just says, just let her in. I don't like it being like to hide from your mom. And he's like, okay, fine. Okay? Just don't freak her out. So basically, Izuku opens up the door, and, well, Inko sees this girl, basically, like I said, red hair, green eyes, basically. Imagine Mary Jane. Yeah, that's what she looks like. And she was like, wait, how did she get in your room? She's like, okay, so, Mom, this is... And she goes, hi, my name's Anti-Venom, or Venom for short. It's nice to meet you. She was like, hi, dear, that's a nice name. It's like, that's the thing. You might want to go into the living room. So, as they go into the living room, Inko sits down. Izuku explains what happened, like, from his part. But then, hold on, I gotta do something real quick. Okay, so then basically, then Anti-Venom, aka Venom, explains what happened to her life, and Izuku still is like, seriously, how is that possible? You kept someone alive for thousands of years. She goes, it's kind of easy when, well, you know. She's like, I know, but still, jeez. Where Jingo's like, so this isn't how you really look. He goes, no, but please don't freak out, ma'am. So basically, she changes into her look. Basically, it's kind of like what you get what you would see from female Venom, but it's just anti-version. So anti-Venom, basically female looking, and she does says, "This is how I look. This is, freaking you out a little bit, but just know, and I'm not gonna have anything happen to your son. I promise you, and I'm not gonna hurt anyone. I don't deserve it." And she goes, "So wait. You're the reason why my son is cured of cancer." He goes, "Yes," and then she adds, and also the reason why he can have his quirk. He goes, "Yes." She goes up to Venom and hugs her, which, shocks Izuku and Anti-Venom. She was like, ma'am, she does say, "Thank you so much for saving my son. I'm so thankful to you," basically. And she goes, "Oh, it's no problem. It's really nothing. It's what we do, symbiotes. We make sure our host is perfectly healthy and fine, and then, well, we basically just make them get stronger. Because it's way more suitable for us to survive." But she goes, "No, it's not that. It's just because even though, well, what you're saying is maybe true, you still took the time to help out my son instead of just going to a new host and staying with him. So thank you, Venom." And, Inko, smiles with tears in her eyes, and Venom just says, with a smile, that's basically just, if you've seen female Venom, she just smiles that way and goes, "It's no problem, Miss Midoriya." He was like, "Oh, this is, kind of, awkward. I thought I was gonna get yelled at or told about how I'm keeping an alien with me." And then Venom's like, looks at him, like, why you said alien? He's like, "What, do you want me to call you a parasite?" She was like, "No, that'll be even worse." He was like, "Good. Because I don't see you as one." Which, if you don't know from the movie, yeah, she's kind of shocked by that. He goes, "Seriously, why would I think you as a parasite? Just because you live off of me doesn't mean I will call you that. I really have no problem with you, Venom." Just, sure, it can be difficult sometimes and bossy, but I mean, you're teaching me a lot. And, well, you did say, well, actually, you never did say that, but I've been meaning to ask you, can you please teach me how Peter Parker, is so smart to come up with these basically new chemical, basically he's able to mix the chemicals into making the web fluids, and, I know you showed me it, but still, can you teach me everything else he knows? And she thinks about it, and goes like, "Alright, but just know the technology he ever invented is way more advanced than what everyone has here, so be ready." He's like, "Right." Which Inko, says this. "So, my question is, if you technically can shapeshift, does that mean anything?" And he was like, "Oh, yeah, Venom." Just right. So basically, when Anti-Venom gets back onto him, he then transforms to the monster Anti-Venom form. But then also he becomes Agent Venom. He says that was the form that they take on when they technically go out and erase people's quirks. He says quote unquote, but he makes them quirkless. And he goes like, he's like, technically they're a plague on society because they make the people who are the most corrupted with it think they could do anything they want, like Bakugo. The entire reason why I haven't, made Bakugo quirkless is because underneath all that arrogance, all that jerk that he is, there technically still can be some solace to him of being a good hero. Which Inko's kind of glad to hear that. And then he then says, and this is technically going to be my hero costume, but in the Anti-Venom voice. Suddenly, then he goes to his normal voice when it's just him and, Anti-Venom, I'm not Anti-Venom, Agent Anti-Venom. He's like, pretty neat. And then she was like, wait, does that mean... He was like, what? So, at the same time when you got your quirk and this all was happening, could you have, during the 10 months, became Spider-Man? He's like, is this a theory of yours? She goes, yes, now, I'm thinking about it. And she was like, and basically Venom just like, little head comes out, and she just looks at Izuku, and Izuku looks at her, and Venom is like, okay. So basically he becomes, the Spider-Man look. He's like, I'm Spider-Man, okay? Don't freak out. And she goes, so you've been technically using your powers for the greater good. He's like, yeah. Is that a wrong thing? She goes, no, but you could seriously get hurt. The pro heroes could capture you. And he goes like, technically it's not a quirk, so it can't really do nothing to me. But still, what happens to Venom? And, well, technically Venom was basically, as they changed back to have no costume on, she'll basically come back off, turn back into the human look that she made, that looks at Mary Jane, and she goes, oh, simple. They even try to take me away from Izuku, they will be dead. Which Izuku was like, really? She goes, yeah, you're the most fun host I had, so of course I'm not gonna leave you. And two, I want to keep you safe. He's like, you care about me that much? I'm touching Venom. And she was like, always dramatic. And he's like, what? You never really, you always showed that you care, but you never really say it. It's like, true, and I'm sorry for that. He's like, thank you. And then now I know why you act like a girl so much when you're just nagging me for food. I know you're hungry, everyone nags for food, but still though, kind of makes some sense on a lot of things, boss me around, the nagging thing. And, well, can be sweet, but then mean sometimes also. Not much general of the anime freaking tsundere or whatever types. I don't really watch much anime, who says. Okay, just to point this out, no one hates me for what I said. It is just because it happens a lot in the Venom movie where Venom does technically nag to Eddie a lot. Okay, or boss him around. Tries to tell him what to do. And they do get in arguments a lot. So, please understand that. I am basing it off of the Venom movie. Okay? I'm going off of that a little bit. So please understand that. I'm not saying about girls in general. I'm just saying about the movie. And I've probably not already dug in a hole, so if you guys want to leave a hate on that, or basically be mad at me on that, go ahead. But I'm just saying from the Venom movie, I can see it has happened a lot. And I have seen in the first one that it does, Venom acts like a girl, from the movie. The, arguing, the nagging, the complaining, So, yeah. Anyways, hold on, my parents are home. Alright, so, as I was saying, so, after that little scene, Venom, goes back on to Izuku, and she just says, sometimes you really can be a jerk, but it's kind of understandable. He was like, sorry if I made you upset. I didn't mean to. He's like, if you're just pointing out the obvious, you have become more straightforward and pointing that out. So, yeah, Izuku became one of those just blunt characters, just telling it straightforward. Just want to point that out. So, okay. So, anyways, after that, Izuku and Inko go out and, invite Mitsuki, her husband Bako, out to dinner. Which, when they basically see Izuku, they're in shock. Bako's not, but Mitsuki is essentially like, Inko, who is this? He's like, come on, Aunt Mitsuki. Did I really look that much different? She's like, huh? Wait, why did you call me Aunt Mitsuki? And he's like, jeez, I didn't know I became that different looking. I got a little bit taller, yeah, but come on. So she's like, huh? Izuku was wearing the hood when he takes it off. She basically realized who it is. She's like, oh my god, Izuku! And basically she hugs him. She's like, you look different. I mean, I know Inko, well, told me a little bit, but you changed this much? And he goes, yeah. Oh, and I knew you knew about it, but I got cured, finally. She was like, oh my god, thank god you're cured. Wait, did you and Inko celebrate it without me? And he's like, no, but also, I got into UA, and I also found out about my quirk. She's like, wait, really? What is it? He was like, it's called, well, it's technically like, I kind of researched a little. It's like the underground hero Razorhead's quirk, but mine quirk lasts like an hour. Even if I deactivate, the people won't be able to use their quirk for an hour. Which Mitsuki and her husband Baku are shocked by. And so he was like, but anyways, come on, let's eat. So basically they go into the restaurant, they talk, they chat, Baku is just being silent. Izuku acts like nothing happened between them in front of his, in front of, Aunt Mitsuki and such. And so, after, well, that, we will go to the next day. So Venom is starting teaching Izuku about, well, how Peter Parker was. And then, though, he hears about saying, like, Oscorp is having a tour. He's like, huh. I wonder, like, what's this tour about? The next generation for animals? Okay. You wanna go check that out, Venom? And she says, yeah, let's go. He goes, alright. Wait, do you want to be in your human form since you've been kind of, like, ever since last night, been walking around and, well, going to computer, learn anything you can while I'm sleeping? She was like, how did you? He was like, well, brow history. She was like, And he was like, but seriously, you keep on researching if anything's different in this world. She goes, what? A lot of it is. I didn't know this was going to happen. It's like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just saying. You've been searching up a lot of different things that, well, adamantium and vibranium. Including the Avengers. Which she does say, I know, they were formed a long time ago, though. That's strange. There should be, like, still people around. It's like, well, technically they were only formed to help out people from killing quirkless. I mean, not quirkless. For killing people with quirks, and, well, they disbanded a long time ago after they achieved peace. People stopped and accepted it. Because more of the population was getting quirks. She was like, and then, she was like, I see. Alright, hold on. That was probably my friend. Give me a minute. Alright, so, anyways, this is my friend, telling me, he wants me to come over, but he has to do something real quick first, so, I'm gonna, I'm gonna try and make this at least a good 50-minute video, so, yeah, anyways, so, after that, though, after thinking about it, Venom says, I really do want to go with see Oscorp is doing, so let's go. He goes, cool. So basically, Izuku, puts on the jacket and such. Venom goes back up, basically becomes a part of him again. How symbiotes do that. Basically, he goes into, Anti-Venom form, but then she goes back inside of, yeah. You know what I mean. So anyway, so he tells his mom he's going to be going out, and she says she's going to be going out, and that she hopes he has a nice day. Same thing with him. He's actually the same thing to her. So, be safe and all that, and he says, you too, Mom. So, Izuku gets on the way to Oscorp. He's basically wondering what's going to happen. So, Venom asked, what's Oscorp about? He was like, oh, it's technically this is made here after, well, during the age of quirks were just coming out. At the time, they were basically a science company and military, but ever since quirks became a normal life, they switched up a little bit. They still are science and military funding. Basically, they have the military with certain things, but they also are for the support course part of Hero World, making support items for heroes and even the further evolution for quirkless people. He's like, huh? Wait, really? He goes, yeah. They, though, they did say they want to basically make gear to help out quirkless people, which many people that have quirks don't think it's a good idea, but since technically the owner of the Oscorp was Osborn, he was technically quirkless when he made the company. And since he's not around, they still have that dream to help out quirkless in any way they can. So, yeah. So, but then they also further into the science of artificial quirks. They're in the testing phase of it right now, but how can I say this? They are doing the testing phase of animals. And which he's like, that's kind of dangerous, isn't it? He's like, yeah, I know, but still. It's still in the testing phase. They're not using like major animals that could be dangerous. So she's like, I hope so, Izuku. He's like, yeah, me too. Anyways, when Izuku arrives at Oscorp, he basically asks the front desk about the tour, and she's like, oh, well, if you go over in that direction, she's pointing to our right, you go up those stairs, and basically you make a left, and right in front of you, you'll see a door. Basically saying, for tour. She's like, and then Izuku's like, oh, thanks. So, Izuku, follows the direction, and he goes, where the teller said, and he does see quite a few people. It's like, huh. Well, this is neat. A lot of people want to come here. So, he does see everyone sitting down as he takes a seat. And then someone comes out saying, hello everyone. We're about to start a tour, but please, watch this video on the understanding of what will happen as Oscorp that are not responsible for if you go somewhere at your own risk. Because there are a lot of dangerous things here. Well, technically on the lower floors. But we're going to on the safer ones, but this is still, you have to, watch this for your own safety. So basically it's just a normal, safety video on how to act around Oscorp. Don't go to places that are, off limits and such, dangerous, all that. So after that, the tour guide around Oscorp, comes back in. She was like, alright then, everyone, please follow me. So, while they're walking around, basically they go to different places. They see how the support items are made, even how, the history of Oscorp was being saying it was originally in New York, but when this whole entire course came around and Japan was being ruined from, basically being destroyed from the inside, Oscorp came here to help out anyone in need, quirks and quirkless alike. So, because of this, Japan became steadily okay with, what was happening. The Avengers were formed, and Oscorp was the one who actually helped out them with their support items. So, because of this, laws for quirks and quirkless all around happened, and everyone who gained power, everyone's figuring out that sooner or later, everyone's gonna have a quirk, so they achieve peace. But it did take a while for that to happen. But now, though, people who have no quirks, which is 20% of the population, we work to help them out. Which everyone who's there has a quirk, basically saying is it so bad for quirkless people? One person asked, which is just a girl from middle school, first year. As the teller's about to say something, but then she stops. She goes, well, I can't really say for sure, but I do wish I can like ask someone who is quirkless or is quirkless about it. And then Izuku just like says, raises up his hand saying, "I can," which everyone looks, and opened a pathway for the teller to see. Well, I'm not teller, but the tour guide to see. She's like, "Huh?" He goes, "Yeah. I mean, my quirk was dormant, so I mean, I still have a quirk, but all my life I technically was quirkless." She goes, how was it then?" He's like, "Oh, easy, bullied, saying you were useless, no one really cares about you, no one's gonna love you, and then someone just tells you to go off yourself." Which don't ever do. Honestly, that's really messed up. So he just tells everyone. So that person from it's in middle school kind of looks shocked. She's like, "Come on, it couldn't have been that bad." And he's like, bruising, beating, someone using their people use their quirks on me for to get stronger, and also I had cancer. Got rid of it though. I'm perfectly fine. And which that's like extremely messed up. She says she was like, "I know, I never told anyone because I don't think no one would care in my class. But hey, I got my quirk, got rid of cancer, I'm good." Which to tell her, I mean not to tell the tour guide says, and that's why we're trying to help out quirkless people. Now, please follow me. So then they get to the artificial quirk making. She goes, "So in this room, well, this part of the Oscorp facility, we are trying to work on making artificial quirks. They will not be stronger than, people with or born with a quirk, but at least we can actually, give someone a quirk so that way then they would not be harmed or hurt no more." And nothing will happen as this young man said. So, here's the thing. We are testing out on animals. And we did go with the normal standards, but we have gotten permission from the government to try to basically give basic quirks to animals. So basically, as she shows, the basically rats have quirks. Then they go to monkeys, apes, and technically it's not like how you would think of like animals. Basically they don't do it like I said, they don't inject them in anything, but they give them like, in their drinks. Basically, they make the quirks liquefied, and well, the animals when it drinks, they technically would see if they get a quirk or not. He's like, "Is it?" Someone says, "Is it dangerous for them?" He's like, "Well, at first we were technically going to use needles and inject them into the bloodstream, but well, we did some tests, on the simulation on the computer, and we found out that would be too much of a problem. So the best choice was pill form or, well, liquefied form." Which we went with the liquefied, one because it'll be a lot more easier. As and it was like, "So are they? The animals are perfectly fine. We're not endangering them. We care about the animals' safety first. So we always make sure that they're always safe, and we monitor them every day." And well, we even have gone into the realm of spiders, in which Izuku is like, "Huh, spiders?" So basically, they like she shows the area where spiders are. Basically, they're like in an open area. What I mean by this, they can walk into it, and they can see an actual area of all spiders around, like in multiple glass. Like they're all up behind the glass. There's like many different areas where the spiders can be, have a different environments that they would be best in. And she goes, "See, these spiders technically we've been trying to see which ones can handle two quirks, and well, all of them can. We found out since spiders seems like can have two different quirks that have many different abilities. So." We kind of are seeing further into what they can handle and what type of quirks they can handle. As in just some kids like, "Miss, what about this one? It's missing." And she goes, "Huh?" So basically she goes down to where the kid is, she looks, she's like, oh no, this is bad. Which technically was one person asks, "Why is that?" It's like, this one isn't like dangerous, but it's bad if we lose one. Technically, the spiders that well, here we technically try to release back into the wild. See what happens if it basically acts around other spiders. But we didn't know is that well, at least I didn't know a spider could escape from here. It's all airtight, but a little air ventilation going to each one. So she basically gets to calling someone, and Izuku's thinking, huh. I wonder could have happened. So right from the roof, something was already coming down from the rooftop. On a string, on like some thread, or should I say webbing, as then it goes onto Izuku's neck, and it goes down into his like. Well, technically, he has a clothing on, so it gets onto the jacket, goes down, and then while Izuku has his hand to his face, thinking, all of a sudden, he's like, "It's a spider. Maybe I could try to help them find this spider." As then I was like, he gets bitten. He's and he smacks it away. As all of a sudden, the spider then starts crawling away. As Izuku says, "Miss, I found your spider." She's like, "Huh?" So he basically points to where it is. She basically goes right over to onto the wall that technically has a little trap for them, and throws it, and it basically lands on the spider. She's like, "Okay, thank you. Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just bit me." "Wait, was it poisonous?" She goes, "No. The spider isn't poisonous, thank God. We don't keep those here. If they are poisonous, we're trying to find a way to have a cure right away, just in case." It's like, thanks. It's like, "Do you need anything? Should I get you to, medical bay?" Like, "No, I think I'll be fine." Which Venom starts to feel suddenly Izuku's change. She goes, "Izuku, I don't know what's happening, but whatever happens, this is going to take a few seconds. You're going to feel lightheaded, and you're about to, technically pass out. But, like I said, it'll only be for a few seconds." So, Izuku says, "Alright, Venom, I trust in you." So, Venom kind of speeds up the process. And he does pass out. Which everyone's basically telling them to get someone. So someone does come and get him, and he's at the medical bay. And the tour guide is there. And he wakes up, and it's 5 minutes later, technically, as soon as he gets there to the medical bay, and the doctors are about to look at him. He's like, okay, what the hell happened? Which they're like, you passed out. He's like, "Oh, I guess I didn't eat breakfast, huh?" Like, "Wait, you didn't?" He's like, "No, I technically been up all night, and I haven't ate since 7 o'clock yesterday." And technically the doctor says that could have been it. Plus the spider bite could have made, you could have been running on fumes, and then when the pain happened, took a lot of energy out or something, and then you could have just passed out due to it. It's like, it's like, anyways though, I can check you out if you want. He's like, "No, I'm fine. I just need something to eat and drink." It's like, alright. So they said they gave Izuku something to eat and drink, and they said, "You sure you're not? Is anything you're not gonna do anything?" He's like, "Oh, you mean anything legal?" It's like, "Yeah." He's like, "No, I was my fault for coming here when I was tired and hungry. I should have grabbed something on the way. So I'm not gonna basically try to sue Oscorp." And which he's like, "That's not what I meant, but thanks." It's like, "Oh, what do you mean by are you okay walking home?" It's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be fine. Thanks." It's like, "No problem." So Izuku, gets up and walking out, and who he sees was about to walk into the medical bay for Oscorp is the tour guide. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you're safe." He's like, "Thanks. Wait, who are you?" She was like, oh, my name is. Okay, since I am bringing some villains from Spider-Man, why not bring some characters into it? And I kind of did like them. Well, everyone's gonna probably say like, why you like the Amazing Spider-Man? I did like the Amazing Spider-Man because it kind of brought in the character back, and this is well, you know, she was a part of Oscorp, so Gwen Stacy. She goes, my name is Gwen Stacy. He's like, oh, hi Gwen, Izuku Midoriya. It's nice to meet you. She goes, it's nice to meet you too. And yeah, she looks exactly like Gwen Stacy from the comics, or maybe you can say, which Venom's like, okay, this is weird. It's like, so, you're fairly fine? He's like, yeah, nothing happened to me. It's like, thank God. Are you on your way home and such? He's like, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of, pretty speedy recovery. I just need a little power nap and eat something and drink something. I'm good. He's like, all right. Um, well, I'm glad you're just perfectly fine. He was like, hey, what happened to that spider? It's like, oh, the spider's fine. Nothing happened to it. I'm just really sorry it bit you. He's like, it's fine. So how did you even escape? She says, well, it turns out when someone was trying to feed it, they left the little door for it to be open. So basically crawled out there until they realized they didn't have it open. No one checked to see if it was in there. He's like, ah. So, anyways, thank you, Gwen, for coming here and checking to see if I was alright. And I'll see you around. She's like, right. He's like, wait, are you going to be going to UA since? I mean, I know you're a tour guide, but she goes, oh, yeah. I mean, this is just a job. I mean, I technically need it because of my inventions. She's like, wait, you invent stuff? He's like, yeah, I'm a scientist, but I like to build stuff. It's like, ah, I see. So you're the inventor type. She goes, uh huh. Going, wait, are you in UA at all? She goes, sort of. I'm in UA, but in support course. You? Hero work. It's like, cool. It's like, yeah. Well, anyways, I guess I'll see you then. She's right. Bye, Izuku. Bye, Gwen. As Izuku's walking out of Oscorp and such. And he's like, okay, Venom, what happened to me? She goes, okay, turns out they did not realize they might have been testing out spiders with the abilities to transfer their, abilities and their quirks. It's like, huh? More like they're able to technically keep their quirks but also transfer at exactly the same time. He's like, okay, so technically give someone a copy version. She goes, yep. They, what I could see from what was happening when I bit you, okay, so you're gonna probably freak out over this, but you may have gained spider powers. He's like, huh? Okay. Okay, really? How? She's like, going down the way and I'll transform. It's like, okay. So, basically, that's what happens. And, she looks like Mary Jane. She goes, okay, now, come on. So, basically, Zuko and her go and, well, there's a area, basically part of the city, that they are just looking around to see if there's no one around. So, basically, Venom says, okay, you know how when I'm a part of you, I give you the spider abilities? She goes, and Zuko goes, yeah. Okay, so this place is kind of, not have anyone around, and there's some trash. Basically, well, bricks, rocks, and stuff. Now, close your eyes. He's like, what? What do you mean? I won't be able to dodge it. He goes, close your eyes. He's like, fine. So basically, he closed it, Venom grabs something, and then throws it at him, straight at his head real quick. He gets that tingling sense, and then all of a sudden he dodges it. He goes, when he opens it, he's like, whoa, did I just... He goes, yeah, now jump. Onto the wall. He's like, what? Just jump onto the wall. And when he goes, okay. So he jumps onto the wall, and he starts crawling. Basically, he's like, do I just... She goes, yep. You have spider powers. He's like, he jumps off it, and he lands. He's like, okay, what does this mean? It's like, okay, so what was happening is that the whole entire thing was totally gonna kill you because you had a quirk, but because of me, keeping you given the process quicker and healing you a little, it actually was not technically killing you as I thought. I thought it was gonna kill you, but it turns out that it actually merged with your DNA along with your quirk. It's like, wait, so does that mean then, yeah, if you ever gain webbing from your body, you're able to shoot it out and you'll be able to, keep people quirkless. Because they won't be able to use it. But now, your kind of quirk is enhanced to the point where it could be 2 hours now instead of 1. He's like, okay. So I can wall crawl, I can have the spider sense. What's next? He goes, I don't know. It's like, great. So basically, he's just walking a little, to the wall, to basically a fence. He's like, man, okay, what's new is gonna happen, huh? Okay, I get bit by a spider, and this. It's getting so frustrating. It's like everything I know is going topsy-turvy and all at once, and he's getting frustrated, because of this. And then all of a sudden, he kind of looks like his hand is glowing a little. She's like, Izuku. He's like, and he's just like, I just wish everything could just solve. As when he touches the fence, he realized those entire fence get electrified, and he backs away. He's like, what the hell? She goes, that's another thing I was gonna tell you. He's like, huh? What do you mean? And how do I have this on having to? And then basically he notices his hands start to go, disappear. It's like, what the? As then all of a sudden his whole entire clothing and himself disappeared. And she goes, Izuku, are you there? He's like, yeah, I'm here. What happened? And she goes, I don't know. As well, then suddenly he just he reappears. He's like, oh, before anyone asked, did I really want to make him have Miles Morales' powers? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Why? Because I think it'd be kind of cool. Kind of also, be interesting, to have a little bit more abilities. So, also, someone did tell me about Anti-Venom's, weaknesses, or not having any weakness, so give me a minute. Okay, so Anti-Venom's immune to almost anything, including fire, electricity, and sound, so yeah, it would work, still. And she goes, okay, so let me just go back on, let me just see what the quirks are. It's like, fine. So basically, she, kind of goes back onto not Peter, but Izuku, and then, actually, yeah, she basically says, okay, good news. She's like, yeah, it seems when the spider bit you, it did transfer because it had a transfer, copy quirk. She's like, huh? Basically, that quirk, that, transfer copy quirk is going to stay in the spider, but it transferred the quirks by copying them and giving it to you. The only ones it has is technically, since it did have a spider, it was a spider, but we have to go back to Oscorp real quick. We have to check in something. He's like, okay. So, he goes, okay, so just the visibility one. She's, yeah, it's like, you'll be invisible, but you can turn it off and on. And then, what's the other one? By electricity. He's like, cool. Okay, so how do I turn it on? She goes, well, just have to think about it. He's like, alright. So, but she says, for right now, we'll work on that later. I'll help you out. So basically, they go into Agent Venom costume, and basically they sneak into Oscorp, and they basically go to the spider. As, technically they're like, okay, we're here. So in the spider area, they found a, back door to go see where it is. And, well, when they basically found the spider's, number, and they basically found a computer nearby, they type in the number and they say read. The spider became radioactive. Basically, we test that out to see if the quirks inside of it will be able to handle it. And, well, it seems like it became slightly different. It basically can produce bioelectricity throughout its body. That's one of the quirks we gave it, but it seems to be enhanced. So even where it can actually go through its webbing. Thus, its invisibility seems to have, activated every so often if it's afraid or when it basically wants to be non-seen. And so, there is a fear that this spider may be able to transfer its power or its spider abilities to the person, whoever it bits. Under any circumstances, no one is supposed to be bitten by this. If so, it could kill them. Anyone with a quirk, that is. If it's for someone that has no quirk, it basically could be, saved. Because it'll be changing its DNA structure and all that. But if it ever does bit someone, the spider will be terminated and decommissioned. But if we will have to find out who the person that bits. Because there's no guarantee it will work. If they show no signs of having spider abilities, and this is like the first entry log on after the becoming radioactive, then we basically will still try, but make it where it's a little bit more better for people. We do not know for sure what will happen if someone was bit by a radioactive quirk spider. Which is like, okay, let's go through the last entry log. So then it reads, alright, so there's someone called Spiderman has been going around. We are technically going to get rid of this spider just in case. It was going to be decommissioned today. But it bit somebody. The doctor was about to check the person out, which we did do a scan of it. There seems to be no change in this person's bloodstream or anything. On the way, though, reason how we know is we took some blood. It seems like nothing happened to him. There's no change in it, nothing. So it's a good thing that this boy did not die. It's a miracle because he has a quirk. We would have felt bad and this happened. We would have actually tried to... Hold on. Alright, sorry about that, everyone. That was my friend just calling me telling me I could come over to his house. So this will be uploaded at my house, so that means it'll be uploaded instantly. And then I can work on the Ruby one tonight and tomorrow, Ultron Deku. I was just trying to figure out some stuff for that series. So, anyways. So, continuing on. Like I was saying, thank God he did not die, he lived. Because that would have been, unfortunate, because he was so young, and the fact is, there will be a lot of paperwork, and I don't want to fill that out, the entry says. And plus, the mother will be very upset, or father, or both. I don't know if the kid has a parent, both parents or not, so, in general, parents or parent be upset. And an entry. Then it basically says, Spire decommissioned today. He's like, alright then. So, they get out of Oscorp, and, they come out of invisibility, and Venom says, that's good. I mean, I didn't know if I, accelerated it and changed it to the point where it would, seems like your DNA is still the same. He's like, Venom, you changed my DNA, and, structure, I think. So, no matter what, it was gonna change. And it looks like it's perfectly fine. She says, that's true. So, after that, Izuku, is going back. But then all of a sudden, he hears basically this explosion happening. And basically, a news copter's over. It's like, attention everyone, we have reports of basically a villain attacking. It seems like the villain Muscular is attacking many probably heroes and many civilians, killing them in the process. We don't know how to stop him. And Izuku's like, wait, isn't that where Mom usually shops for food? So Venom's like, Izuku. He's like, I know. So basically he gets in, he just starts running into basically an alleyway, because that's the only time he can basically go into. Jumps up and puts on the actual Spider-Man costume, Venom makes, and starts web swinging. So, what's starting to happen is this. Izuku is swinging as fast as he can, which is, he can realize he's a lot more faster, stronger. He's, seeing as, when he's getting near there, he basically then, sees a car gets thrown, he dodges it, And he's like, whoa, what the hell? So he basically lands on the ground, and he's like, all this destruction just by one guy? What the hell is wrong with him? So Izuku, starts running. He sees many people going past him. He's telling them to get going. And, well, I did have to say, I did technically have to make Uncle Ben scene for Izuku to learn, because he is like Spider-Man. But, well, I don't want to put Inko too badly, so he's not gonna die, but he's still gonna learn the meaning. So, well, he basically sees the store where Inko usually goes into. He basically, jumped into the window that was broken, and so he screams out for his mom. Inko lifts up her hand slowly, and what Izuku, when he gets over there, sees is that he is. Wait, hold on. Okay, he sees basically Inko is being crushed by some, debris from the ceiling, and he basically immediately starts ripping off the debris. Inko, when he holds his mom in his arms, he basically have one hand over her head, and then he basically feels something wet. When he looks, he sees the red. He's like, "Mom," just Izuku. Hey, I don't know how long. He's like, no, you're gonna be perfectly fine. Come on, you're gonna be fine. I promise. He's like, I'm not gonna be fine, sweetie. He's like, Mom, come on, please. Just promise me, please. Just promise me. He's like, all right. What? He goes, promise me that you'll remember using your power for good. With great power comes great responsibility. He's like, Mom, I promise I'll remember. I'll use it for good. Nothing will happen. And she goes, all right. Now be good. She's starting to tear up. Izuku's mask is off, and he is staring out because, well, he thinks she's gonna die. I'm just playing for Izuku's feelings, emotions, although I know I'm evil, so what? So, we got Izuku, grabs his mom's hand, has, shade down close to her eyes. He thinks she's dead, as eventually, Izuku, mask comes on, and immediately he just runs out of there, right out of the store. Heroes see, him getting out. Basically, one hero comes in, which is a Razorhead. He sees Inko, and then he, feels her pulse, and he says, hurry, get the medic over here. Her pulse is faint, basically. And yeah, what happens is, Izuku finds Muscular after a few minutes, and, Venom's been trying to stop him, but he's been fighting through her toys and trying to control, and, what happens is, though, when Muscular sues him, he gets a punch in the face, and I'm gonna make this quick, and, though, he just gets a major beat down to the point where he's all bloody, and Izuku, and he has many multiple muscle fibers on him, so Izuku then grabs his arm, throws him over his shoulder into an Oscorp, tanker, and, what happens next is chemicals start to go on to, Muscular. For some reason, his muscle fibers are turning to skin, and he's starting to, and they also are starting to look like metal and such, and they're becoming different. He even looks like he's growing horns. So she says, what the hell's happened to me? And Izuku's thinking, what the? So before, Muscular can do anything else, Izuku jumps over and punches him in the face, knocking him out, and then he went away. So, after that sort of thing, after that was known, Hiro saw it, Izuku then just, we're just gonna go to him, get into UA. So, he's running in front of it, and he says, so, this is my first step. Just can't believe it, what I heard on the news. Muscular's quirk changed. It's kind of a mutation quirk called Rhino now. Huh. Just create one of Spider-Man's villains, huh? Which Venom does nod, and well, tell him yes in his head. It's like, well, I just have to try and find a way to cure him while I'm here. Which she says, yeah. So that's where we end. This is where I'm ending it off, everyone. I hope you guys like this. What if, part 2, part 3 will be all of UA stuff and a little bit of Spider-Man. So hope you guys have a nice day, night, wherever you are. Bye.